As an investor, your time is valuable. Yet researching a single holding often means navigating multiple platforms. Your portfolio here, charts there, fundamentals elsewhere. It's fragmented and inefficient. Supath.ai brings it all together. Portfolio, charts, fundamentals, filings, and AI-powered insights. One platform, complete clarity.
This is Supath, an analysis tool for Indian equity and mutual fund investors.
The idea is simple. Ask anything about your portfolio or the market in plain English and get an answer grounded in actual exchange data. 4 things it does differently. It explains itself as you read. Jargon light PE ratio, RSI and ROCE is highlighted in every answer, and tapping any term opens a plain English explanation with a worked example. 46 terms are covered, no prior knowledge assumed. It draws real charts, not just numbers. Ask for an indicator, a price series, or a decade of returns, and it renders an actual chart inside the answer. Everything is grounded in exchange data. Prices, fundamentals, momentum rankings, and BSE and NSE filings. Every claim comes from stored market data with the filing linked. And it is analysis, never advice. Pros, cons, and things to watch. No buy or sell calls, no price targets. You decide. Let me sign in with the demo account.
First, portfolios. You can add holdings manually or connect a broker for live positions. This is a demo portfolio with 4 stocks. 7,26,000 invested, now worth 8,50,000. A profit of 1,23,000, or close to 17%. The holdings table breaks that down per stock. Quantity, average cost, last traded price, invested and current value, and weight by both invested and current value. That last pair is the useful one. Persistent is 31.6% of the money you put in, but 29.1% of what the portfolio is worth today. So its share of the portfolio has drifted down, even though the position itself is up. SBIN is the strongest holding here. 200 shares bought at 834, now around 1,043. Up 25%, and the largest contributor to profit in both rupee and percentage terms. Below the holdings, transactions. Add a buy or a sell with symbol, date, quantity, and price, and the averages recalculate. Any row can be edited or deleted, and the sparkle icon on any holding sends that single stock straight to the AI for analysis. Now the AI side.
A new chat opens with 2 shortcuts. Analyze the whole portfolio or analyze a single stock. Below that, 10 starter questions that cover the range of what it can do. Compare 2 companies on valuation, growth, margins, and momentum. Check whether your portfolio is concentrated by stock or by sector. Pull recent exchange filings for a stock, results, board meetings, insider trades, with dates. Draw an indicator, like daily RSI 14 with the closing price overlaid. Screen the Nifty 200 for stocks trading within 5% of their 52-week high with strong momentum. Or ask which of your own holdings have the weakest momentum right now. You are not limited to these. You can type any question in your own words. Let me analyze my demo portfolio.
Here is the analysis.
It opens with a summary. A concentrated 4-stock portfolio, tilted to cyclicals and midcaps, with strong momentum in 2 names and a large cap anchor in SBIN. Sector risk is low because each holding sits in a different sector, but size concentration is high. Persistent alone is 29% of the portfolio. Then a snapshot table. Every holding, side by side, on market cap, valuation, ROCE, debt, growth, promoter holding, and momentum score. Below it, the portfolio weights, ranked. Then 3 readings. Technical, where each stock sits against its moving averages
and what RSI and MACD are saying. Fundamental: quality set against what you are paying for it. And momentum, where each name ranks among all 4,300 scored stocks. Then pros, cons, and things to watch. And notice that it does not flatter the portfolio. It calls Loris Labs overextended, 110 times earnings on 4% growth, a valuation detached from fundamentals. It flags Kirlosang's leverage. It points out that Persistent is still below its 200-day EMA despite the recent bounce. These are the user's own holdings, and it says so plainly. The watch list gives specific levels to monitor, not predictions and not targets. And at the bottom, follow-up questions. Show Kirlosang's ROCE trend over the last 5 years. Compare Loris Labs' PE with its 5-year average. Chart Persistent daily with the 200 EMA overlaid. Click any one and it runs as a fresh analysis with your portfolio already in context. Notice that the metrics in the answer are underlined. Click one. ROCE. A drawer opens on the right. It leads with a one-line definition. Profit earned on all the money in the business, borrowed as well as owned. Then, why it matters. Where ROE looks only at shareholders' money, ROCE asks how well the business uses every rupee it has, whoever it came from. That makes it much harder to flatter with borrowing, which is exactly why it is the better measure of underlying business quality. There is a worked example with real numbers. 6,000 crore of operating profit on 40,000 crore of capital employed gives an ROCE of 15%. And there is a caution, which matters. Banks and lenders do not report ROCE because their assets are funded by deposits, so capital employed has no ordinary meaning for them. For lenders, use ROE instead. At the bottom, related terms to read next. So someone new to investing can follow a chain from one concept to the next without ever leaving the answer. 46 terms are covered this way. One last feature, and it is the one I am most pleased with. Anywhere a stock symbol appears, in an AI answer or in your portfolio, there is a small chart icon beside it. Click it, and a chart opens from the bottom of the screen. You never leave the answer you were reading. Daily, weekly, and monthly timeframes, candles or a line, moving averages, and RSI. And then the pane you will not find on most charting tools, a PE pane. This is not one PE number pinned to today. It is the PE ratio recomputed for every single bar on the chart, from that bar's closing price and the earnings that were actually public on that date. 1,200 weekly bars here, each with its own PE. Click the question mark beside it, and the documentation opens on the right. It explains why trailing 12 months is used rather than the annual figure. An annual EPS number changes once a year and stops at the last completed financial year, which would leave the most recent months with no denominator at all. It explains how two data sources are stitched together: quarterly trailing 12 months for recent years, annual EPS reaching back a decade for the older ones, and why the join leaves no visible step. And there is a caution that matters more than it looks. Earnings are used only from the date they were published, roughly 45 days after a quarter ends. So January is priced on September's results, not on numbers nobody had yet. Get that wrong, and every historical PE on the chart is quietly optimistic. That is the level of care behind every number in this product. Every analysis is saved. The chats list shows each question with its timestamp and marks the one currently open. You can see the range from the history here. Company comparisons, a 10-year PE history, portfolio analysis, mutual fund returns, moving averages, momentum screens across the Nifty 500, and pros and cons on individual holdings. Click any of them to resume that conversation exactly where you left it and ask follow-up questions against the same context. Finally, usage. And this part is deliberately transparent.
Supath is token-based. Every analysis has a real compute cost behind it, and you can see exactly what each one cost you. Your balance, total spent, the number of analyses you have run, and the average per month. The chart shows monthly usage over the last 12 months. Below it, a line-by-line log. Date and time, the type of analysis, the question you asked, how many steps the AI took, how long it took, and the amount debited. The portfolio analysis you just watched is the top row here. 9 steps, 56 seconds, 4 rupees 49 paisa. And the cost tracks the work involved. A simple momentum screen was 1 step, 10 seconds, 1 rupee 47. 41 analyses across 2 months came to 94 rupees in total. No subscription and no bundle you do not use. You pay for the analysis you actually run. And to try it, you do not pay anything. Every new account starts with 100 rupees of free credit. At these rates, that is 30 to 40 analyses. Enough to load your own portfolio, ask the questions you actually care about, and decide for yourself.
Thanks for watching. Visit https://supath.ai